2017 was not a classic year by any stretch of the imagination, but a lot of the films that were released were more mediocre than bad. That being said, here are 10 films that I will be glad never to see, hear or think of again. As always, only films that were released onto the silver screen between 1st of January 2017 and 31st December 2017 will be considered. Films that were released online via streaming services or went straight to DVD will not be considered. As always, I would like to thank The Light of My Life for coming with me to see some seriously awful films, and Script Gremlin for turning the half-formed thoughts into the professional reviews that you know and love. Well, no at least. Right, let's get this show on the road. Number 10. One day I will find a good film about religion. Until then, I'm going to have to deal with films like The Shack. A film perfectly placed to deal with the issues and challenges surrounding faith. A pretty solid cast and Sam Worthington, and absolutely no interest in dealing with any of them. Bland, tedious, self-satisfied, and with absolutely no interest in doing anything other than preaching to the converted. Please, let these stay in their own little pond from now on and out of my cinema. Well, this is a shame. A film about a group of young people realising that they have to atone for their sins before going on with their lives, and realising that actions have consequences. Let down by wooden acting, poor characterisation, average cinematography, and being a watered-down 12A version of a rated 18 film made by Joel Schumacher starring Kevin Bacon and Jack Bauer. And it was supposed to be a horror film. A plague on this film's house. A lone cop tearing a criminal nightclub apart to get his kidnapped son back whilst being hunted down by internal affairs? Yes, please. It's just a shame that it descends into a cliche-ridden, tired crime drama that just doesn't have the courage of its convictions and just provides more ammunition to the charge that Jamie Foxx's Oscar win was a terrible mistake. Do I really need to say more? It's only higher than Underworld because it's a franchise with the decency to actually die. On the other hand, continues to exist for seemingly no other reason than to show off how good Kate Beckinsale looks in skin-tight leather. It's not a bad reason, but this is a dull, uninteresting, small-scale film that pads its mediocre 91-minute runtime with excruciatingly long credits. And yes, an 8th movie is already in development. Goody. The Arthurian legend has endured for over 1,000 years, but I wonder if it can survive this. What genius thought that Guy Ritchie, a man who cut his teeth on low-budget crime films, would be a good fit for an action fantasy drama? How does Charlie Hunnam keep getting leading roles? Why was David Beckham the least awful person on screen? Why did people think this would make a 6-movie franchise? Why did the only female character literally have no name? And since they were a magical mentor anyway, why weren't they Merlin other than to avoid a sausage fest? What was the deal with the giant snake monster? And finally, I think this is the most important question, why, following this, did someone decide to give Ritchie the director's chair for the live-action Aladdin remake? At least the previous Transformers movies had the decency to make embarrassing amounts of money. The Last Knight couldn't even manage to do that. Wasting a pretty solid cast, this film is more of what you'd expect. Loud noises, crashes, and insane, unending, unyielding action, with plenty of toxic masculinity and female objectification, comedy scenes rendered tragic, and vice versa. Oh, and did I mention that some genius associated with this mess thought it would be a great idea to cover Sir Winston Churchill's family home in Nazi flags? Stay classy, Transformers. I sat in a crowded theatre that never laughed or chuckled or even cracked a smile as this film was playing. It was gross out humour that failed with a stunningly bad plot and actors who didn't even seem to be trying to be funny. And it didn't have anything close to the spirit of the TV show it was allegedly based on. Still getting a sequel though. There are half a dozen good films in here. A man coming to terms with abuse, a woman dealing with her new boyfriend's past, said boyfriend going missing in a helicopter crash to name but 3, and this film squanders them all with leaden dialogue, wooden acting featuring people with less chemistry than I had with someone on my tube carriage this morning. Christian is still a controlling stalker who needs a restraining order, and the film has complete indifference to its characters' identities, conflicts and desires, which is matched only by its indifference to its own cinematic substance, and somehow it's even worse than the first. Oh, and if you are going to take a cucumber in for what I assume, since this is a family channel, is a mid-film snack, can you please take the damn thing home with you? Cinema workers don't get paid enough to deal with that. Was there ever any doubt? I have never and will never describe this exercise in advertising smartphone downloads to children as a movie. ever. Because there is nothing redeeming here. No joke lands, no character develops, the voice acting is awful, the film has the moral of just be yourself, but the main emojis only complete that quest by conforming to whatever society demands of them. I could have just removed this thing's detours into Candy Crush, Just Dance, YouTube, Instagram and Spotify, and the only thing that would have changed would be a shortened runtime from its already pathetically tragic and yet somehow far too long runtime of 86 minutes including credits. This is the perfect example of filmmaking at its worst, and I hope that this is something which can be safely left in the past. What's that? Sequel allegedly confirmed? But what did you guys think, and what was your worst film of 2017? Comment below, let me know. I'm Daniel, it's been a dunking. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe.